I'm gonna kind of make this up a little bit as I go along. I've kind of got like a basic list, but for forever I've had a list on my Trello board of a to-do list of kind of what I want to see, what I want to come to New World to make it something that I would love as a game. So yeah, forgive me as I kind of freeball this. I'm going to try and find some B-roll to put over the top, but these are the things that I would love to see come to New World. And of course, if you agree with these points, leave a like, watch the video, leave a comment. It helps it go out to other people. Share it if you want to share it. I appreciate your support on my YouTube, and let's get on with it, I guess. So the first thing that I would love to see come to New World is a good war declaration system. So at the moment, the way you declare war is you go and pick up some things, you drop off some things, and if the enemy wants to defend, then you may get into some PvP. The whole system is very mundane and it's very lackluster. Is that maybe the right word? I don't know. It's just boring. It doesn't really force PvP, and the reason, in my opinion, it doesn't force PvP is because people could be in lots of different places, and it's not worth your time as a defender to go out and find them. Because if you kill them, well, they just, the next time they see you, they run as far as they can. Because as an attacker as well, it's not fun to do the mission, so you want them done as quick as possible. There's not much PvP involved. What I would love to see happen is that we utilize the forts. So kind of like a pre-war war. If you're an attacker, you go and take control of the fort, and as you have control of the fort, your influence starts to go up. And as a defender, what you need to do is go into the fort and kill the attacker. Now, of course, there's a 25 limit on the forts. That's fine. We don't want too much lag, and we don't want to push the boat out too far just yet. But what we would look to do really is this could create a 1v1 scenario. This could create a 1vx, an xvx, all the way up to a 25v25 or a 25v25v25 if everyone starts to get involved. And the faction control points were supposed to be a point of interest and ultimately be a point of conflict. That's why the cap was put on there in the first place, because the devs thought that these places will be a big place that people end up fighting. It's not. It's very rarely you end up fighting in there. So I would love to see that system come into place, and of course there's lots we can expand on. That's taking the current system and using what's already there. So in theory, it shouldn't be too much work to get this to happen. Ultimately, creating kind of a pre-war war. If it ends up 20v20, 20 attackers, 20 defenders, and out of the fort, if people start to get a feeling of what it's like being in the wars as well, I think that'd be a really great way to create a great war declaration system. That's something that I would love to see. That's my top point. Point number 2, I've got on my notes here: motherfucking boats. Pirate ships, trade boats, Viking style boats. We have Dynasty Shipyard, we have ports, we have places we can build boats. I would love, I'm a bit biased. I have a whole pirate theme going on with my brand, my channel, my community. I love pirates, man. I love black sails. I love Vikings. I love it all. But I just think it would be fantastic. The stuff I've seen in Lost Ark, where you sail to an island, you then fight on that island, you PvP on that island. It's just a PvP island, and then there's lots of smaller, great PvE islands. There's so much great stuff. I'd love to see a New World. I understand that we're shipwrecked on an island. We can't go away. That's the law, right? Just imagine if you go too far out. I don't know. You get eaten by a shark, or a kraken kills you, or there's a storm and you can't pass too far or your boat sinks. Whatever the scenario may be, I think bringing boats to the game would be fantastic, and it would allow us to really expand. I know on the map, the data mined map, there's a lot of land to be explored, but imagine sailing from First Light around to this new land once it arrives in the game. Just think it would be awesome, and it would allow us to, allow them to implement something like a PvP island. Something that maybe happens every weekend, once a weekday or once a weekend, kind of timed events. You get your boat out, you sail to the island, and as a guild, you fight guild versus guild rather than faction versus faction, and you just have these epic fights. This is a big ask. This is a shitload of content, but I think something like this would be fucking fantastic. I love Sea of Thieves. I think Sea of Thieves is amazing, but normally when we play, there's about 15-20 of us to try and get together, and it's impossible. But that Sea of Thieves feeling, being out on the water, also being able to explore the island and do what you do currently in New World, will just be absolutely insane. If it's possible or not, who knows? That's something that I think would be epic. Truly epic. Anyway, a bit more kind of back on track. Point number 3, some guild quality of life. This game is really company focused. I say that there's a lot of things that make you, there's a lot of solo things in the game, and there's a lot of kind of small group stuff. But the game, its core is about taking territories, defending territories, managing towns, managing territories. So there is a core part of the game which is about companies. With these points I'm going to give here, I feel like we could remove the company limit, because there would be a reason to be within a company, not having multiple companies. Anyway, what I would like to see is tracking of kind of funds. If you put money into the company, if you take money out of the company, or people take money out of the company, that's fine, that's all good. But why don't we have like a tracker, an audit, or a receipt, whatever you want to call it? That would be really helpful to everyone. Company storage. Now, I know this was a big topic at the start of the game. Not needed. Company storage. I think this is something that could be really useful. And again, my current experience of Lost Ark, you have to do things in the guild. You have to work together in the guild to get upgrades. So, for example, you might have to invest X amount of resources to build a company storage in Morningdale, which then, your company can go to Morningdale and, I don't know, access a chest somewhere, have a company house. Maybe you could have somewhere in the tavern, bring the tavern more to life, and then, upstairs in the tavern is a chest that you as a company can use. Whatever the scenario be, whatever can be implemented. I think company storage would be brilliant, and it would give you a reason to be in that company. Kind of eliminating the need to have multiple companies, having multiple territories at multiple time limits. The idea would be to give an incentive to bring everyone into the one guild. And if you have a 500-man guild, there's no difference between having 5 separate guilds than one big guild. I think it would make things kind of a lot easier, especially for companies to work together with the way the game currently is. And of course, finally, I guess kind of having the ability to manually select the mission. Not a big need. It doesn't matter if we have it or not, but it would be something that's nice. So, allowing your officers to do the same as your console if you wish, or your officers to just invite or just kick but not access, or just to have the ability to have some control. Ultimately, yeah, some guild quality of life features in the game. Number 4, something that I'm pretty passionate about. If you guys have watched me, whenever I talk about this, it really gets me excited. Open world events. Something like Chaos Gates. If you guys haven't played Lost Ark or Guild Wars, Guild Wars is the big one for me. A massive dragon just spawns in and you get this alert that pops up. Same with the Chaos Gates on Lost Ark. Just something that when you're out logging, when you're out mining, when you're PvPing somewhere, I don't know, some sort of monster appears or some sort of event appears, and just everyone kind of goes to it, and it just creates, I don't know, something unique for that period of time. Just something that's exciting, something that's interesting, something that's fun, and of course it needs to have interesting mechanics. At the moment we've got a lot of expeditions. They're cool, they're fun, and there's some stuff in there that's interesting, but when you compare it to what else is out there on the market in terms of kind of bosses and dungeons, it's pretty poor. So what would be nice to see if we can bring some open world events to have some cool mechanics that are gonna fuck you up if you don't pay attention. Stuff that's just awesome. And of course, this could create some kind of PvP scenarios as well if people are flagged, fighting at these events and all this sort of stuff. Of course, a lot of these things can only happen if the desync's fixed, the lag's fixed, which I know they're working on at the moment. So these are kind of future wants. Let's not break the game just yet. And finally, something that's kind of simple, and I'm pretty shocked it isn't in the game yet. That's inventory management. I'm not buying gear, I'm not crafting gear, I'm very rarely gathering at the moment because my inventories are fucked as it is. I'm not very good at it, but we have no way to manage our inventories. I've got one storage somewhere that is just full of all my armor and full of all my weapons, and it is a real mess to get hold of. And I have another storage somewhere else that has all my harvesting gear and all my mining gear and all my crafting gear. It's a fucking nightmare, to be honest. It's a fucking nightmare. What I'd love to see is basic inventory management, but also utilizing camps. I spoke about this to Redbird, and it's kind of his idea, so I'm stealing this here, and I think it's fucking fantastic. Utilizing camps to allow us to have gear sets in it. Let's say you're out and about, you find yourself a load of hemp, you want to harvest the hemp, but all your harvesting gear is back at town. You don't want to have to go back to town and come back to the hemp. Fuck that. Place down your camp. It can take a lot longer. It could take more resources, whatever the need is. But in your camp, you could have maybe 2 or 3 sets. One of them is my harvesting set. One of them is my mining set. One of them is my logging set. Whatever. And just allow you to kind of store things sensibly, organized in your your camp. I think it'd be really cool. Anyway, that is kind of 5 things that I think would be great to see in New World. Please remember, some of these points need the game to be in a better state before they're implemented. These are things that I would like. I love the game. I love the base of the game. It's stunning, and the sound effects are brilliant. The PvP is fucking fantastic, and the environment is amazing. It would be epic to see it grow. It's such a fucking shame to see all the players drop off, but we all know why. It's been shit. You know, it has been shit, and you know, we really hope. I really have the copium that it gets better. And these are things that I think would be really cool. Something that I think would be cool to bring to the game to make it a bit more interesting, a bit more fun. If you agree, leave a like. If you disagree, leave a like. Just drop a comment. I appreciate it all. Let's get a bit of a conversation going. And yeah, take it easy, boys. I'll see you on the next video.